Hi ladies, so this is the second part in this series about how I maintain my hair for 2 weeks. If you want to see the first video, which is how I styled my hair like this, go check out the first video and it'll be linked down below. But for now, on to the maintenance routine. So this is the second night after I styled my hair the first time. As you can see, it already doesn't really quite look like it did at first. I got rained on, I think, 2 times at this point. Some kombucha exploded on me. Our humidity was in the 90s, so my hair reverted pretty quickly. But this is what I do with my hair to maintain it at night. I put it in 5 to 6 puffs around my head, tie it down with a scarf, and head to bed. I don't make the ponytails too tight, and I try to get it as close to the roots as possible. I leave those top 2 puffs out of the scarf, sort of like pineapple style, so they can puff upwards and do as they please. So this is the morning on the 4th day. As you see, that lower ponytail almost always falls out of my scarf and gets all smushed at night, but that's okay. All I do is take my fingers and sort of claw at all of the puffs and fluff them back out. I don't put anything on my fingers. There's no oil, moisturizer, water, or anything. I just kind of pull at them until they get back into shape. As I take each puff down, I just sort of fluff it and blend and marry it with the rest of the hair and fluff it out until I get the shape that I want. After the first day styling, I typically don't really use a comb anymore to pick out the roots. You pretty much get the idea from here, but I do the same thing each night. One thing I do try to do is put a little bit more or less in each one of those sections so that I don't get defined parts. If that makes sense, like some nights I'll put a lot in that top puff, other nights I'll put less in there so that I'm not making the exact same parts and they're not sort of getting stuck in those sections throughout the week. This is how I cover my hair for the shower, and some ladies on Instagram kind of helped me figure out this was why my hair was reverting throughout the week. I don't really mind the reversion, but it likely is because I'm not very thorough with covering my hair. We are on to our 7th day here. I'm styling my baby hairs because at this point I didn't feel like taking all of my hair down, and I knew I was gonna kind of do a top knot type thing, so I just styled my edges. I didn't show you that very in depth because I'm not great at it, and there's a million edge videos on YouTube. At this point you see my edges are starting to get a little stretched out from sleeping at night, so I pinned each one of the sides up to try to get it back to the shape that I wanted. A little wonky, but it'll do. So it is finally the end of the 7th day of me stretching this style. As the days went on and I was responding to comments from the first video, hopefully it's not too echoey in here, clearly I'm in a different bathroom. I started to get a little nervous I didn't want to mislead anyone, so I did my hair a week ago today, and I said my next video would be me showing you guys how I maintain that style for 2 weeks. People were like, wow, you make it look like that for 2 weeks? And then I was like, oh no, I've misled them. It doesn't look like that for 2 weeks. Like, if you can see me right now, my hair went back to what it naturally looks like. So it reverts to its natural texture, and then I do it again for the second week without washing, and I just let it revert again, and then I'll wash in 2 weeks. So it's really just a way for me to stretch my hair out, to make sure it's dry, and for it to last in some form for 2 weeks. If I started out with a wash and go, that would be really hard for me to stretch for 2 weeks without washing again. Doing this allows me to get the first couple days where it looks like the rod set that you saw, and then have it revert to a natural texture for the rest of the week, and then to do it again for a second week. This hair also, I got caught in the rain 3 times, 3 separate times, so it's a little puffy, but it also kind of just looks like this. Like, even if I didn't get caught in the rain or it hadn't been really humid, it would sort of still just look like this. My hair is pretty consistent, and this is generally what I end up looking like. Today's the first day where I finally felt like my hair could use a little bit of moisture. I think I like rinsed it out, but my hairline was starting to have like gel caked up, and like the perimeter of my hair was starting to get a little stretched. Also, the very same day that I finished styling my hair, kombucha also exploded on me, so this entire region got wet and like fully reverted on day 1. So it's been like sort of puffy and unruly in this region. So all that to say, it's time for a refresh. I am traveling, so I tried to bring everything with me, but of course I forgot a few things. In this spray bottle, I just have some moisturizer, and I added a little bit of water and shook it up. And then I have the same mousse that I used to do the style. I forgot my Denman brush and a comb to smooth out the ends before I put them on a rod, so I'll just use my fingers. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna refresh the style, I'll take it down in the morning, and then you guys will see how it lasts for that second week versus how it lasted right after wash day. Let's go. So I'm pretty much styling my hair the exact same way I did my hair the first time in part 1. The number of braids might be a little different. I don't do it the exact same, but it's pretty close. Probably within 1 to 2 braids difference each time. And the whole no comb, no brush for smoothing the ends wasn't working, so I figured out that I would use my edge toothbrush to smooth out my ends. Clearly, I was just tickled pink that I thought of this, but it really did help. Like, it makes such a difference if you smooth your ends out for this style. Like, it really, I think it helps me to have less tangles. It helps the style last longer. It helps it look better. Like, it's just really a lot better if you can smooth your ends out with something. So you'll see me throughout this clip just tickled pink that I thought to do that, but it did work. So it's the next morning, and I'm doing my takedown for the second time in this wash cycle. My hair was not dry. I was clearly not amused. I also didn't have my comb to fluff my roots, so needless to say, I wasn't loving the way it came out, but I tried to blow dry it a little bit, but I had to get ready to leave, so I didn't have a ton of time. I did the best I could fluffing it, but eventually I just had to stop myself, go get dressed and ready, and then come back and just do any final touches, which is what you'll see me doing here. I try my best to use my fingers and my hands as a pick, but it's just not the same. I just cannot get the same effect and the same look. Overall, for it still being wet and me not being able to fluff it, it's alright, but I think you can tell by my face I wasn't loving it. By this day, I was just tired. Sometimes I do this. I'll just literally just do one tie around the hair. Like, I won't even loop it multiple times. I'll just let them kind of be individual pineapples, like not even little ponytails or puffs. Like, I just wrap it around one time. So it is a full 2 weeks after I styled my hair, and this is what I'm looking like. If you did go watch the styling video, I look almost the exact same. If nothing else, my hair is really consistent. I even had the same top on, but this is a totally different shot. So no matter what I do, I just end up looking like Lenny Kravitz's lost little sister. Like, at the end of the 2 weeks, I got rained on 3 times, kombucha exploded in my hair, like, so many different things can happen, and my hair looks the exact same after those 2 weeks. I did take footage most of the nights of those 14 days and nights between when my hair was fresh and now. I'll probably end up cutting a lot of it out because it's going to be really redundant and feel like Groundhog Day, but you'll totally get the gist of it. So this is what I've been rocking with through the winter. It helps me stretch my wash days to 2 weeks instead of every week. I do still style and moisturize my hair every week, so it's still getting the same benefits, but cutting down the styling time. And it cuts down the amount of time that I have to have a wet head in winter, which I just cannot with. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Everything I used will be down below as always. And until next time.